When watching Technoblade on the Dream SMP, one thing is always clear. Technoblade is an anarchist. He promotes anarchy and despises government. Meanwhile, the nation of L'Manberg is across the ocean, continuing to be a thorn in his side. Now, ever since the beginning of this conflict, one question has stayed in my mind. Who is right? What is actually better for the Dream SMP? Anarchy or government? And that, my friends, is what I'm going to answer in this video.
Hey, listen!
Now, before we get started, I need to preface something. This is not going to be an analysis of anarchy versus government in real life. It is not. So please, I ask that you do not take this video in the wrong way. This video only involves the Dream SMP. Sorry for the long disclaimer, but I feel like that was important to mention. Now, let's get back to the analysis. As always, when encountering a problem, the first thing to do is to define it and learn about it. So what the heck is anarchism? Well, Google says, belief in the abolition of all government and the organization of society on a voluntary, cooperative basis without recourse to force or compulsion. Alright, well, if I've learned anything in my life, is that you should always trust the internet. Ooh, Wikipedia. I'm sure you already know what government is, but real quickly, I'll mention this definition. Government, the political system by which a country or community is administered and regulated. But I didn't get that definition from Wikipedia, so I don't know if you can trust it. Okay, so which one is better for the Dream SMP? Anarchy or government? Well, in order to answer which one is better, we first have to define what we mean by good. And it turns out that's a bit easier said than done. Hear me out for a second. How about for the context of this question, we define good as that which helps achieve the server's main goals. That means whatever system of thought helps reach the Dream SMP's goals more effectively is the one that is better for the Dream SMP. That makes sense, right? So what are the goals of the Dream SMP? Here's a short clip of what George and Dream have to say about that.
Alright, are we like, what are we actually doing? I guess we're gonna try beat the game, but in general, we're just trying to just play,
Well,
right?
yeah, we're trying to play. We'll beat the game eventually. We're not trying to speed it though. We gotta enjoy it. We gotta make a house. We gotta get...
So it sounds like the main goal, at least in the beginning, was just to simply play the game. Since they were all about speedrunning, they wanted a place where they could enjoy playing without the stress of speedrunning. That seems reasonable. However, as you probably know, that kinda changed after someone special joined. TommyInnit. It's no secret that when it comes to the Dream SMP, TommyInnit is a source of amazing content. Mainly because he stands up for himself, and he doesn't bend to tyranny. Within minutes of joining the Dream SMP, Tommy was causing havoc and annoying everyone, which is hilarious, but what does that mean for the server goals? Here's what I propose as the 4 main goals of the Dream SMP. And if you disagree with these, that's okay. Just please remember to keep the comment section civilized. I am totally up for discussion though, because this is going to be a complex problem, and I'm sure you might even have better ideas than I have, but I think they're relatively reasonable. Number 1 is entertainment value. Number 2 is server longevity. Number 3 is member growth. And number 4 is fun. And I'll go into more detail about these shortly. Also, since the Dream SMP is a unique server with overarching rules, more on this later, we can exclude worrying about things like massive farms and a stable economy, since they don't really do much of that on the Dream SMP. Dream, for instance, banned villager breeding and massive iron farms, as an example. Now, I don't want to keep you waiting for the answer, so I'll make this short and sweet. The idea, though, is that the system of thought which achieves these goals more effectively is the better option for the server. Keep that in mind as we go through them. Alright, so let's go through each factor one by one. And for this, I talked to a good friend of mine who has a decent amount of experience playing on a number of SMPs. And the main reason why I brought him on here is to get different opinions from mine, so we can hopefully eliminate some bias and get a decent answer. So number 1, entertainment value. how well the audience enjoys it.
Probably anarchy, to be honest. Because you can have things occurring which you couldn't have in a governed system.
Conflict is always going to be more entertaining because it's like there's suspense. You want to know who's gonna win in the end, right? Like in sports and in like Minecraft manhunts, for instance.
There's just more things which can occur.
With government, I guess you could also have that, but with anarchy, it's just more.
Yeah.
Next up is 2, server longevity, or how long the server can effectively stay up and running.
Most of players are going to keep it fairly civil because they all want to keep playing on the server. That makes sense? So
Yeah.
the server longevity is going to depend a lot upon how much fun all the players are getting out of it.
Yeah, so as we were talking about this, we realized something. The bottom line is, anarchy leads to more chaos, which in turn leads to more adventure and conflict, which then leads to pretty much better content. However, complete anarchy isn't necessarily a good thing either. It's like trying to bake a cake without the recipe. You can try new things and be adventurous while baking the cake, but in the end, it's going to be a chaotic mess if you don't incorporate any order at all. So, what's better for the Dream SMP then? Anarchy or government? Chaos or order? Well, it seems like the answer is both. Incorporating both of them, and at the same time pitting them against each other, seems to be the best for content. And turns out, that's exactly what the Dream SMP does. Ever since the beginning, there has always been a battle between these ideals. Dream attempting to enforce order while Tommy spreads chaos, Technoblade joining to take down the government of L'Manberg. It's a constant balance between chaos and order. Yin and yang. That is what's best for the Dream SMP. But where does Dream fit into all of this? Well, that is going to have to be saved for another analysis. So make sure to leave a like if you want to see that.